All right. We are going to give it a few minutes to let some people get in. Also, I'm going to fix how terribly unangled this is. Maybe raise it up a little bit so you guys can see me some more. There we go. So we're gonna give it a couple minutes because what I have started to learn is that when I go to publish these videos, like change it from the live stream to YouTube as like an actual video, it is like cutting off like 2 or 3 minutes of the introduction. So I'm gonna let some people filter in here first. Hey, you can see the shadow from my fan going on up there. I'm gonna let some people filter in here first, give it a couple minutes, and then we're gonna explain the premise of the video. So I'll do like an intro, what that I would normally do for all of my videos. Because right now I'm basically just filling some dead space, some dead air. I know that some people will eventually come in here and join, but we'll get everything tested, running. We'll probably spend an hour and a half, 2 hours like we have been traditionally. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait a little bit before I start talking and doing too much because this might be too high now. I don't want it to get cut off because I think that is ruining like some of the interest that people have coming from like when I take this from the live stream to the videos. So just kind of learning the whole process and figuring it out as we go. So again, just killing some time until I know it's going to let me start doing things. And you know, potentially waiting on some people to come in because I know they're going to start asking questions, that kind of stuff. So maybe I should just start doing like a going live in 3 minutes countdown thing. I know that's what like real streamers do, but I'm not a real streamer. I'm just a guy on the internet. So here we are hanging out. We're gonna play some games. I'll talk about the premise of the video. I don't even know how long we've been live for. 2 minutes. We might wait till we get to like 3 minutes or so, 3 to 5 minutes to start doing things. I see that some people have trickled in, so I'll kind of let you guys know what we are doing, and then I'll do like an official intro for the real video. So yesterday on stream, I put together a PC that was $415 roughly, and I'm gonna go through the list of the parts so that you like can kind of see if you were wanting to buy a PC at that rate, you know, what you would spend your money on, where you might be able to save money, where you could potentially upgrade. And then we're going to talk about the upgrade that I did today so that you can see like the level of performance that you're going to get from spending. Today's example is $65, which is again all rough because these are used parts, so you can find them, you know, on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, wherever. Your prices are going to vary. So like I said, I'm going to wait a couple minutes to do like the official intro, go through all of it, because when I do these videos as a stream, and then port it over to the videos on my actual channel, it cuts off like the first 4 or 5 minutes, so my introduction keeps getting thrown out of there. So I will run through all the parts on this PC that you see behind me, what part we actually swapped out, and then we're gonna test some games. So in the stream yesterday, we did a lot of games, which is really surprising. If you haven't had a chance to check out that video, I think it was like a $415 PC in 2026. Let's see what happens or something. We tested out, I don't know, like 8 different games or something, and you would get a chance to see like how well a PC of that cost should run you in 2026. And in today's video, we're going to compare how that ran versus a $65 upgrade, and I'm expecting that we'll probably see quite a bit. You're back. Hey, how are you? Wait, Daniela, so normally I have to look and check and see what people have done in the past to know like their history, but remind me, because I'm wanting to say that you had a 2080 Ti, is that right? Am I correct there? You'll have to refresh my memory. Yeah, but here in about 45 seconds to a minute, we're gonna go ahead and go through the official intro so that I can port this over to actual videos, YouTube afterward, and then we're gonna hang out, interact, test some games. We'll run through everything that we're gonna do. So yes, we will get all that going in a minute. And I'm excited for this one. I do have another video, so I've got a newsletter. I guess I'll just kind of tell you guys about that now, where I update you guys with the upcoming content. And I let people like suggest things on there. And someone asked if I could do a PCIe 3 versus a PCIe 4 video. So I'm actually probably going to do that next week, where we take probably a 3060 Ti and plug it into a PCIe 3 motherboard. And then we're going to plug it into a PCIe 4. We'll probably test it with either a Ryzen 5 3600 or a Ryzen 5 5500. No, wait, 3600. I think we'll probably do the 3600, and that will help us determine like if there really is a difference. I haven't seen a lot of like information out there. I just see like vague things on Google, sometimes YouTube, but like there's not really a video dedicated to that. So I thought it might help people. It's very niche. It's very strange. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go through and do the actual intro for YouTube, because I feel like at this point we've spent enough time. So you guys are gonna get to see exactly what the video is about. So let me make sure I'm in here at the correct spot and talking about all the right things here. So awesome. Is the PC there? Let's go a little over here. This might be a bit better. Nope, that PC's not on the shot at all. Wow. You guys, you know how hard it is to be your own filmer? All right, so here we go. Am I in there better? Yeah, that's good. So yesterday we did a build of a PC that was $415, and I'm gonna run through all those parts with you guys really quickly so that you can see if you wanted to build a PC of a similar price today, what that would look like, and then how much each component would cost. If you want to go back to the video that we did there, I think it was titled a $415 PC in 2026. Let's see what happens, or something like that. You can watch that to see the performance. Today, we're actually going to be upgrading it to see just how well it runs off of a $65 upgrade in comparison. So I'm going to run through the parts really quick with you guys. In this PC, we have a Ryzen 5 2600 underneath the stock cooler here. It's an older CPU. I can't remember what year it came out. We have 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM right here. That is some very cheap Lee, doesn't have a cover kind of RAM. What we ran in the PC with the $415 budget was actually this Sapphire RX 580, an 8 gigabyte older GPU, and we tested out games with that. And where we're going to be differing today is actually a 2060. So this is about $65 more than the RX 580 costs. So going back to the cost of the PC, so we're actually using an Okinos Aqua 3 case that was like 60 bucks. So there are two areas that are a bit different, three actually, but they don't make a difference. So I have a 750 watt power supply. You could get away with a 550 or 650 watt in this build. And then I have a 2 terabyte NVMe in here just because I have to for all the games. You can very well get away with half a terabyte or 1 terabyte. And then the motherboard is a little nicer, but you can get one that's like $50, $60, even brand new. You could go with like an A520 or a B450. So for all intents and purposes, this is essentially a $415 build. Today we swapped out the RX 580 and we threw in the 2060, which is again about $65 more. So we're gonna test that, run through it, see if there's a massive difference between the performance that we had yesterday and today. And we are gonna be doing that on a 1080p monitor. There's a small chance that we could potentially get away with 1440p, but I think you'd be really pushing it. So that's what we're gonna be doing in this video. If you are watching it on the actual videos instead of the live stream, when I'm doing this, it's a live stream, so I'll be interacting back and forth with chat. They'll get to have their input. If you ever want to come in, I try to stream a couple times a week, Monday through Friday, like noon to 3 is when I start, and then usually about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So you're always welcome to come in, hang out, give your input. Otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and get to them, figure out what kind of games they want to play, and get this thing rolling. And I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, everybody, how is everyone? Been enjoying your content? Keep it up. Prescott, what's up, man? What are your thoughts on X99 or X299 Intel platform? Seems to be some good deals. What is the brand of RAM? It's called Lee. Here, I'll type it in the chat for you guys. Liyi RAM. You can look it up. It's about 30 bucks. Still on 1080p, so the benchmark's more relatable. I mean, it's honestly pretty accurate. Yeah. Most people are still on 1080p. I think according to Steam survey, that's kind of the majority. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into some games here. Again, yesterday we ran this with the RX 580. I really love the way this card looks, by the way. You can pick these up for about 70 at like the lowest. You could probably find them on your Facebook Marketplace or like local things. Maybe like 50 or 60 bucks. But on average, they're like 75, 80. Some of the models are a little more expensive. They can get up to like 120, but I wouldn't pay for those. What's cooking? Hey, Chris, how are you? I don't know if they do. Yeah, I think they do. I think I've seen some Sapphire AMD cards. So we're going to go ahead and start out with some games. Yesterday, I think we started out on Apex Legends. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some Apex Legends real quick and get you guys on that. I don't know why I'm bringing you in because the game's not even loaded up yet. And I think all the settings should be identical as to what they were. So actually, while this is loading, I'll continue to talk to you guys. So I think all the settings should be identical as to what they were yesterday. I haven't used or changed any of the games since then. So it'll be interesting to compare. Obviously, like, I don't have those exact results in front of me and I don't remember them to the T, but we'll get a chance to like feel the difference potentially, you know, going from the RX 580. And then yesterday we couldn't even load Crimson Desert, and the 2060 can play it. I've tested it on that. I don't remember what it was like on the 2060 with the 2600. That performance, we'll find out. I was going to say something else that was profound or good, but clearly I don't know what that is. So we're going to jump into Apex Legends and go that. Yeah, here we go. Man, what was I going to say, you guys? That's going to drive me nuts. Oh, yeah, I use this thing for work all day, so this might take a minute for us to actually load into a game. So I might pull you guys back and keep talking to you today before here, yeah, we're getting shaders. So I actually used the Ryzen 5 2600 and the RX 580 for work all day, and for comparison, normally I use an Intel Core Ultra 250KF Plus, which is a really nice CPU. It's like a $220 CPU, and then my GPU is a 9070 XT. The type of work that I do isn't like, I'm not an engineer or anything like, so I don't have to do programming, so it's not that intense. But a lot of the applications that I have to use, websites that I go to, are like pretty CPU heavy, and I might have anywhere from like 15 to 20 web tabs open, and sometimes be playing like video games like in between working. So I have all that running, and it handled it today. So a $415 PC, like, it was a workload. It played games yesterday, so like very, very budget friendly and still really usable. So we're compiling some shaders really quick, and then we're gonna try some Apex Legends. We'll try some other games and stuff. Yeah, so sometimes in these moments, this is why like it can be a lot easier to, again, I don't have the time to make the videos right now, but sometimes it's a lot easier to like do the videos, edit it, and then put it out, because there's a lot of dead space in here that you guys don't get to see, like, or used to not get to see behind the scenes. Like, I would have to, when I did like GPU swaps, so like if in a previous video, I probably would have done all of these. I built a $415 PC and then upgraded it twice. I would have like added this, a 1660 Super, $25 upgrade. And then I would have gone up to the 2060, which was a $65 upgrade. And I would have done all of that in the same video. And every time I would have had to have wiped the drivers, installed new ones. I'd have to compile the shaders, because usually you have to go through that if you do any kind of swap of any kind of component. So like there could be like 2 to 3 hours of downtime of just waiting on stuff. So you guys are getting to kind of see some of that when I do these live streams, that like it's a little complex to put all these things together and make them work. So shaders still going. Do you know what the Rooting 80HE is? I've not heard of that. No, I'm sorry. I don't know. That's good. That's a good question. So if you are coming to watch this from YouTube, feel free to skip forward, like, and you know, nix all of me yammering on and having to wait for this, because that is one of the downfalls of like doing it live, is like I can't get around these things, and it's all CPU based. So that's another thing I talked about yesterday. Like if you have a faster CPU, your shaders will go faster. So we're gonna hang out and wait on this. I guess I could show this. I could pull up some of the stuff that I had for you guys and show you some of the pricing really quick. That way, I did not want to pull open my work stuff. There we go. Okay. So, what did we have? We have the Ryzen 5 2600 used price. So $30 to $55. I found them on, you know, eBay for 40 bucks or so on average. Not bad. D-Bada, how you doing? What else did we have? We had 16 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4. I'm in Oklahoma. Are you talking about the Ryzen 5 whenever I put this build up for sale? Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to charge for the shipping or anything like that. So the RAM kind of varied in price, but I did like $70 was around the normal price, like 16 gigs, $65, $72. Some of them were obviously cheaper. If you look up the brand that I have, this is where like some of the pricing will get different. Liyi itself is, you know, $25 to $40. The one that I bought was specifically like $30. We're still going through that. So, you know, that's why I said like some of the pricing on this can definitely be a little different. What are the other components? Oh yeah, Sapphire RX 580. So I'm just showing you guys the prices while we're going through and waiting for the shaders. Some of these things are ridiculous, like $245 is not the correct price. Let me see if I can find the Sapphire. Now, while I'm going through this, so here we have it, $85 for that. I priced it at like, I think 75, 85, 85. Yo, Brian, what's going on, man? How are you? You know, some of them are a little higher, 135. Like I said, I wouldn't buy the most expensive one, $100, 93. This is why like used prices are varied. You know, you never know exactly what it's going to cost. $75. You can get a Power Color Red Devil, $93, $100. So like I think I priced it at $75 or $80, but all of these have different variables. And then you can buy like a cheap B450 motherboard. $58. Let's see. You know, this is where a lot of it can vary. $68, $55. I think I priced the motherboard at $70, $60. You can go on, I think you can even go on like Newegg and buy them brand new. So I think this is probably almost, oh my gosh, it's only at 90%. And then like power supply. So if you go look for like a 650 watt power supply, $40. You don't need something amazing because none of these parts draw a lot of power. It says $45 to $190 to ship where I live. If you're not in the United States, it could be very expensive. So right now we're just kind of going through the pricing of the PC while we're waiting on these shaders to load, because I don't want to have a ton of dead time for you guys. Also, did my wife text me? Oh yeah, she's talking about frozen meat and the defrosting properly, you guys. So that's the power supply, the motherboard, the case. So the Okinos Aqua 3, you can buy them on Amazon. Weirdly enough, on Newegg, they're really expensive, but this is like a $50, $60 case. You could buy way cheaper PC case. You can buy like way cheaper PC cases if you don't care about like the aesthetics at all. I mean, like this does look really nice. It's a cool looking PC case. But like if you're on a budget, you don't need to spend that much money. So that's an option that you have. But let's see. Oh, this is almost done. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. Oh, actually, you know what? It's gonna take a while to find a game anyway. What was the last thing? So we went power supply. Oh yeah, 512. So we'll do like a 512 NVMe. I mean, the brand new ones are going to cost you $100. 3070 for $250 in town. Is that a good deal? 3070 for $250 is okay. If you can find a 3080 for $250, that's probably better. But a 3070 is still really solid. Yeah, so let's go ahead and look at some of these. $60 for, you know, half a gig. I think I priced this at $70. Or half a terabyte, sorry, you know, $60, and you don't need the nicest, fastest thing. Like if you're just buying this as a budget, here, look, $55, $53. So yeah, none of that is really as important as we make it out to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and ready up here. Once we get into a game, we'll get to see some of that performance. But again, if you are just now joining, what we're doing today is we built a $415 PC, or essentially what would be considered that cost. Over here, yesterday, we tested it with a Ryzen 5 2600, 16 gigs of RAM. It has an Okinos Aqua 3 case. And then yesterday, we actually used an RX 580. this GPU here. Today we went up essentially $65 and swapped out for an RTX 2060, and we're going to see how much better the performance is if you were to throw a GPU with that CPU or just a CPU of that equivalency. Like, is there a massive jump in the quality of gaming? And like I said, I actually use the Ryzen 5 2600 and the RX 580 all day for work. This is essentially a $415 computer. If I were to price out my PC as it is right now, so the 250KF Plus is like $220. The motherboard I think is like $250. The 9070 XT is like $800 right now. I have 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. The case, I have no clue what that costs. So my PC is probably, I don't even know, $1,500, something like that, $1,500 or so. And I basically reduced the cost and like efficiency of my PC by 66%, 2/3, and I felt fine. It felt good enough. Like I didn't really have any problems. So we're going to be taking a look at that today. Just identifying how well a PC of this stature can run, and then once we've upgraded it, how much more does it perform. So I'm very sorry that this has taken a while, you guys. I know that can kind of cause it to be boring, but that's what we do when we live stream. So I probably should have picked a different game besides Apex Legends to start out, because this game is dead. But that's what we did yesterday first. So if you are watching this and you're not in the live stream, please feel free to fast forward through these parts. Or if I'm saying something valuable, you're also welcome to listen to that, hang around, do your own thing. I guess while we're still in dead space and waiting, you guys, I do have a newsletter. I have been trying to keep it up to date, but basically what I do on there is update you of the upcoming content. So I try like a couple videos ahead to let you know this is the next few videos, next video that I'm going to be putting out. Here's what I'm planning on doing in the future. If you subscribe to that, you'll get that newsletter. And if you're in the United States, you actually get entered in to win a free PC. That next PC is going to be given away in December. So also you can financially support, if you enjoy the channel. Tech stuff is expensive. I'm not some wealthy, multimillionaire. I'm just a regular guy that invested a little bit of money in this. So always appreciate the financial support if you're capable of it. But hopefully we're going to get into a game here, because it's not moving. It's not doing much of anything at this point, so I'm just standing here. You guys, Apex Legends is a dead game. I should have done something other than Apex. Are we going to get in a game? Oh no. Oh no. Please get past all of this, you guys. Or I'm just going to have to cut through this. When I actually upload it, I might just have to cut through it, because I feel bad here. This is bad. Do we just need to go to another game? Dude. We might have to go to another game, you guys. We might have to go to another game. I'm gonna go to something besides Apex Legends, friends, because this is ridiculous. We started out with Apex yesterday, and it took a little while, but this is taking too long. So we're gonna go from Apex to, maybe we'll go to Counter-Strike 2. Yesterday when we were on Counter-Strike 2, we had a little bit of lag in the beginning. We were getting like 80 to 100 FPS, and then once it started to settle down, it was running okay. Okay, that was really slow. Once it started running okay, didn't have a lot of problems. So we're gonna go ahead and load up Counter-Strike 2. That should load pretty quickly. We'll jump into that, play some of it. You know what? I'm probably not gonna cut out the dead parts, because I don't have time. That would be very time consuming. It'd basically just be like editing anyway. So sorry, friends. If you are watching this from the not live version, I guess I'm just rambling. So I'll just talk about things that are happening in the world. I don't know. Yesterday I talked about Russell Westbrook retiring. I saw that GPU prices have gone up again, so maybe this is even more helpful to other people, especially like new versus used. I saw that like some of them have gone up from 5 to 20%. The RX 9070 XT, for example, is like nearing $1,000 in some places, and probably will be there for a lot of them soon. So yeah, it's possibly a time for everybody to start going used, because PC building is just going to price you out. So I'm sorry that I haven't gotten into any games yet, friends. We are loading up. Oh, here we go, Counter-Strike. Cool. So we're gonna try out Counter-Strike on the 2600 and the RTX 2060. There we are. Let's go ahead and hit play. And while we're waiting on that, I'll look at the settings that we have. I think it should be the same thing that we had yesterday. Oh, it's trying to put us on high. I think we were on medium. So let's go ahead and jump into medium, get in the game. Like I said, I think we were setting 80 to 100 yesterday when we played. And then once it started to settle down, we were consistently getting 120 to 150, 160. With the 2060 though, I'm expecting us to get more. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. Let's jump over here. Make sure this is not too loud for you guys. Now it's not got any volume. Okay, that should be enough. So I remember yesterday, just in the beginning, we were getting stuttering. Oh, I'm bad. We were getting stuttering in the very beginning. Right now, I'm not getting any of that. I'm gonna lower this down a little bit. There you go. Move it a little closer for you guys. Cool. So right now, I haven't had any slowness, and some of this is gonna make a difference based on like the map, how many people are in it. Oh my gosh, that was the worst in the world. So we're already up to 120 FPS. But it's running pretty smooth. Like I haven't had any issues or dips or. I think we were running on medium and not low yesterday. Maybe someone can refresh my memory on that. But this has been a pretty good experience so far. Oh yeah, now we're up to 130. Like I said, it varies on these types of game based off of the server, the map, all kinds of things. Oh, well played there. Just joined. What's the GPU chat? I don't think there is a lot of people in the chat right now. We went from the RX 580 to so yesterday we were using this RX 580 here to today. I'll pull you over here real quick. We are running an RTX 2060. So about a $65 difference in the cost. Sorry if those noises are loud on you guys. About a $65 difference in the cost. We are just checking to see how much this would improve your performance. And like if you're running on a PC similar to this, to go from an RX 580 to a GPU like an RTX 2060, are you getting your money's worth? Or, should you invest in something else? Or, is it not worth spending that? I mean, I even thought about doing this video with going from the RX 580 to the 1660 Super, which is only a $25, $30 jump. But in my, that guy got owned. In my experience, there is a massive improvement. Wow, I'm very bad at this video game. There's a massive improvement from the RX 580 to the 1660 Super, which is crazy because so many people get caught up on, I don't think I got that guy. So many people get caught up on like VRAM. That guy's not dead. So many people get caught up on VRAM. The RX 580 has, I just got owned by a bot. The RX 580 has 8 gigs of VRAM. This 2060 only has 6. Oh, I didn't get in there. Literally just checking out a 2060 EU, kind of expensive. It's going for 170. There are some markets where it's like kind of high. On average, I've seen them go for maybe 130. But yeah, I don't know that I would pay 160 for this. You could probably get something better. Although I don't know what the rate exchange would be for 170 euros to American dollars. So Counter-Strike, we're getting a great experience here. Counter-Strike will literally run on anything. I don't think this is going to be the greatest indicator of what we're getting. So let's go ahead and swap over to another game. I don't know how many people are in here. I think my client is bugged on where I'm like watching what you guys are saying and things, because it shows that there's 0 people in here. And then on my phone, it says there are 6. So yesterday we did try out Borderlands. I'm going to go ahead and try and get into that. Hopefully it doesn't force me to compile more shaders. But yeah, if you're paying $170 for an RTX 2060 at that point, if you've got the option, hopefully I'm not like completely cutting my head off here. I think I am. At that point, if you've got the option, I don't know, I'd probably just spend a little more money if you can. If you cannot, that's tough to say. because I don't know how much a 2070 costs. I know how much a 2080 Ti costs. Those are, you know, $220 but that's gonna blow away the performance of a 2060, and it does have way more VRAM. But then, like, if you could afford it, you could also just go up to like a 5050, which people are gonna hate on, but I think that would perform better too. So hopefully this isn't gonna require too much from me to get up and running. Let's see what it does demand, because I don't want to have to deal with that. The other thing is, like, this PC only has 16 gigs of RAM, which people say is not enough, but it is, until you start going to 1440p, 4K, and you're doing, like, you know, ultra or higher settings. 16 gigs is fine. So that's where we're at right now. Are we on shaders? Let's find out if we're doing shaders right now. Maybe we're not. We did do shaders on this 2600 yesterday, so maybe I've saved myself some time. Nope, we're doing shaders. Well, I guess while we're looking at that, let's go ahead and look at, let's just try to figure out the pricing of, let's go ahead and look at the price of like a 2070 or something. Compiling shaders, where, this is not the one I want. New window. There we go. I'm gonna close this one. Let me read these really quick. CPU matters more for CS. You're running with the Ryzen 5 2600. Yes. 5600 paired with the 2060, 300 FPS. Yes. The CPU 1000% matters more than it does for the GPU on Counter-Strike. What is the recommended gigabytes of RAM on a video card for a 4K monitor? So I have a video on my channel. Let me see if I can just Google it or YouTube it really quick. View my channel. So if you go back to, let me see. I'll see if I can find it for you. This video right here, I tried to max out 4K gaming on a 75-inch TV. I did a 4K TV, 75 inches, 120 hertz, with a Ryzen 5 9600X, a 9070 XT, and it's either 32 or 64 gigs of RAM. I can't remember what I had. But the 9070 XT only has 16 gigs of RAM. And if you go back and watch this video, I think I played Black Myth Wukong, Cyberpunk, and Space Marine 2. And I was getting really solid FPS, no lagging whatsoever. It was just a very good experience. So if you want to know, like, check out this kind of video here. That should be helpful for you. Let's see if we are done with these shaders. We're not even close. So this is what I also talked about yesterday. Like, I'll bring you guys in a little bit closer here. Older, slower CPUs do have a hard time with these shaders. So let's go ahead and take a look at, the 9070 XT has 16 gigs of VRAM. I wouldn't recommend using a 5070 for 4K, but I think you can use a 5070 for 4K, and it only has, 12. So to answer this question before, where Chief Justice was saying, the cost, let's look at a 2070 here. $165, $165. Man, I don't know that I would go with the 2070 either. Oh, that's parts only, 170, 185. Yeah, so 2070 maybe isn't the play. What about RTX 5050 price? Let's look up the RTX 5050. Dang, $299, $276. Are there any cheaper models? Can you buy one used? Let's see if there's like a decent option used. 8 gigs of video on a GTX 6060 on a 4K monitor. He could tell you that. I don't know that he is. This has to be a lie. These are lies. These are not. Yeah, those are not real. Let's just look at Newegg. Newegg. 5050 on Newegg. $299, $319. Yeah, the 50/50 is probably not the way to go. What about used 2080 Ti? Let's look at a 2080 Ti real quick and see what that would cost. Do not buy one for $539. 207. Does that work? Interesting. Does this work? Oh, it's a bid. It's a bid. Okay. I was gonna say that's a really good price. Wow, these things have gotten expensive. 550, 353. Man, people have jacked these prices up. What's up, Tech Life? How are you? You have a 9070? 9070 Cat or 9070 XT? Is that what you meant to type? Yeah, 9070 and 9070 XT are slightly different. The 9070 XT is going to be a little different. Wow, dude, the 2080 Ti has gone crazy. I think it used to be like 250, and all these prices are outrageous at this point. Let's see how far Borderlands is. Only 19%. So this is, again, what I talked about. Like, slower CPUs take so much longer. 9070 cut. I don't know what a 9070 cut is. I don't know. Yeah, the 2080 Ti seems like it could be out. If I would be curious, if you're open to Intel, I've used Intel before. The Titan's up over 1,000. Oh, XT, okay. People jacking the Titan up over $1,000. Oh my gosh, are you serious? So I have used 300. If you can find one for 300, that's not bad. I've used the Intel Arc A770, I think is what it was, and I had a really good experience with that. That's a card equivalent to about a 3060. In fact, let me see if I can find that for you. Intel Arc A770. Is it A770 or A750? I think it might have been the A7. I can't remember what I used, but I used one of those Intel Arc cards, and they were like brand new. It was not very expensive. Maybe it was the A750. A750. But if you're okay with going to Intel, I've used Intel before, and outside of when you try to swap, it wasn't the A380. None of these are Intel. Where's all my Intel stuff? Intel Arc, B580. I think it was A750. Here you go. So I think this is what I used. It has 8 gigs of VRAM. Is this new? I think this is brand new. And you get a Gamer Days bundle, whatever that is. So $210. This GPU is around the same level of performance as a 3060 Ti. It's either 3060 or 3060 Ti. It does have all the little quirks that come with Intel. They've done a pretty good job of handling things and getting more support out there for the games. I think they're being, I can't remember if they're discontinuing their cards or not though, but I had a really good experience with this A750, so perhaps something to look at. But yeah, so if we're talking, you know, like you're already paying 170 euros, whatever that cost is, it might be worth your time to go get a B580 is too expensive. They used to be like 239. Oh, here you go. A refurbished. Oh, it's out of stock. Out of stock. 239. Out of stock. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. People are buying B580s like crazy. I have used one. I think I built with one in the past. So while we're waiting on this, I'll come back over here, talk to you guys, read some chat. Yeah, so the 2060 might be a play at this point. I saw, you know, a bunch of those used for $130. It looks like used prices are going up astronomically as well. So that sucks. I was not aware that it was increasing the price that high. Yeah, you guys, so we're waiting on Borderlands 4 to compile. So I've talked about this several times. I'll keep saying it. If you have a cheaper CPU, that is where your quality of life might go down some. Like you might notice that you're gonna get like pretty okay performance in games, but it's gonna take you longer to load those games. Now, once you have done it though, that's the major thing. It's like, I'm going through this because I haven't loaded the game with the RTX 2060 yet. So like if I were to play this a couple times, the process would be a little faster, but it's because I swapped from the RX 580 to this and I had to install new drivers and like all that kind of stuff. So You paid $800 CAD for RTX 4070 during COVID. I think used it's still 800. I believe it. Yeah, I 1000% believe that that's the case. You've noticed SSD prices have slowly gone down online. Have they really? I have not seen SSD prices go down. So that's another thing is like I'm doing a rock paper scissors tournament for this PC here. I've shown it a million times, but I'll show you guys. So I have a 4790K in here. I think it's 16 gigs of RAM. I think it's 16. I can't see through that, but I'm giving this away. I'm probably going to pair it with a 1660 Super. I'm hosting a rock paper scissors tournament for it, and I have to get a SATA SSD for it. I'm a little scared because I don't know how much they're costing right now. I'm hoping to pick one up for like less than 500 or not 500, less than $50. So you saw 1 terabyte for $100 on Amazon. Hey, that's actually not bad. That's reasonable. If I assumed that it was probably a bad brand, but that's reasonable. Thank you, AI data centers. Yeah, so there's this unique relationship that many of us probably have with data centers. I mean, whether you believe like they're causing health problems, resources are being spent up, all that kind of stuff, but like, unfortunately, it is used in so many things now that like, I think we are at a point where if we reverted back to like not using AI and all the algorithms and things that they offer, people might be more upset than they think. Like, I don't like what they're doing. I don't like the price hikes. I don't agree with it. I think it'll probably be the end of us with all the greed and tech and stuff. But like, if you use Google, if you're using YouTube, like all the platform we're on now that I'm streaming on now has a data center. Like it's Google based. So unfortunately, like when you go to check on YouTube and you're suggested my video or it's like someone else's video, it's going through that. So it kind of stinks, but at the same time, like I'm not someone arguing or advocating for it. I think the people that run them are probably terrible, but like the life that we live now, because I thought about like back when, you know, civilization was different, technology wasn't as important, you know, like pyramids. People have talked about this before. Like, how did they build a pyramid? And, you know, we couldn't figure that out now. Like, we're one of the smartest civilizations ever, but that would be beyond what we can figure out. But like technology is so advanced at this point, like no one in the past could have touched it. So it's just like we've grown, adapted, and accustomed to all the things that technology can do for us because it's just our way of life. So I don't know that we could revert back to some things like before data centers and all that. I don't know. I'm just rambling here. We're in. Cool. It's still going to have to go through one more shader, though. You don't recognize the brand? Yeah, that would be my guess. As the Bible always says, greed is the root of all evil. Yep. Yeah, that's where it is. That's the truth. Hopefully these shaders go a lot faster. So I think yesterday we were pulling 30 to 45 FPS in Borderlands 4. So we'll see what we get with the 2060. Again, $65 upgrade compared to the RX 580. Yeah, so while we've got some downtime here, because you guys can see we have to go through a second set of shaders on Borderlands 4. They really gatekeep you hard on this game, and then it also is not optimized. While we're going through that, I'd love to hear about your guys' week, if it's really hot where you're at. I'm in Oklahoma. It's been 100 degrees for like 2 weeks, so it's terrible. I've had health issues for the last year and a half, and I can't really handle heat very well. So it kind of stinks for me because I like to go outside and I can't really handle the heat at the moment. So stuck inside, can't do a whole lot. If I do go out, it's like earlier in the morning, or I'm just going somewhere and I can't be out there very long. So is it super hot where you guys are? The i7 4790K is goated. Yes, that is a description of it. I know that there are some people that have mentioned that they're from India here. So I don't know, if you guys are from overseas, if you're here in the States, what kind of experience you guys have. And again, I'm sorry that you guys have to sit through these things. Like I said before, if I were to do a video, I would cut all of this out. And you're getting to see now what I have to sit through, where it can be like, I put out a 15-minute, 20-minute video for you guys, and that thing took me 12 hours because I have to go through, imagine doing this 3 different times. So I play, you know, anywhere from 3 to 6 games on all of my videos on like 2 or 3 different graphics cards or 3 different CPUs. Imagine doing this in 3 games on 3 different GPUs and uninstalling and reinstalling drivers every time. Like, man. So you guys are getting to see like a little bit of behind the scenes, but we're not even like swapping out hardware. You live in Tulsa? Hey, there you go. I'm not far from Tulsa myself. So I see that you've got a TV on there. Are you a streamer as well, or do you have your own YouTube? Again, sorry, we're nearing close. We're at 60% on this. Oh man. Yeah, guys, I'm not a fan of how long this takes. I personally like have gone insane. So I tried to use a 4590. If you know what a 4790K is, that one's pretty slow, but like a 4590 is an even slower version. So I used this particular CPU, and I mentioned this a little bit before. This is an old one, so this is a 4590. It's a 4-core, 4-thread. I tried to load up Crimson Desert on this thing, and it took an hour. It took an hour just to get through the shaders, to get through the beginning screen, all that kind of stuff. And I made a video on that, and I almost cried with the time that it took. 72 degrees, white feather. That's amazing. I envy you. 72 would be amazing. I don't even know what it is here right now. I think we're slated for 101 today. Yesterday was like 101 or 102. I don't know. It is very, very unpleasant. So we're getting closer. We're at 95%. So I'm going to bring you guys back over there. I think we're going to load up this game soon and finally get some actual gameplay. We got a little bit of Counter-Strike. It took way too long for us to get into Apex. We will probably try Cyberpunk as well. Cool. So let's go look at our settings here. Oh, not the session settings. Options, full screen, 1080p. Let's look at advanced here. No frame gen. We do have FSR. Can we not do, oh wait, the 2060 doesn't have, no, these have ray tracing on them, don't they? What is it? DLSS? I think you can do DLSS. So we'll run it with DLSS. I think we ran low yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So we will apply all this. Let's see how this 400 and what's 15 plus 65? This $480 PC runs this game. So yesterday, like I said, we were running, wow, wait, hold on. This looks so much clearer. This is superior. Whoa, this is way better. I think we doubled our FPS pretty much. This looks way, way smoother. Dang. Where are we going here? Oh, that took a little while. So one of the other tests that I use is I'm going to press the X key, which is the pull out my vehicle. Watch how slow or fast I jump on it. That's usually like an indicator of how far behind it is, like the lag and stuff, or how quick it is. So you see, like, look how long that took and how it teleported in there. So I think we're getting some trickery through. I think we're getting some trickery through some of the DLSS. I don't have frame gen on. Yeah, we're dropping down. I think we're getting more stuttering on this than we were on the 580, but it does look a lot better. So it could just mean that it needs another second to like load in all the textures and everything, but it does look superior. Oh wait, I'm not getting stuttering. I'm dumb, you guys. I got some stuttering, but some of that was just me holding down the shift and, you know, blasting off with hyperspeed. So don't listen to me there. We had a brief moment where there was some, there we go. That was bad. That was really bad. Okay. Let's go ahead and try and fight some of these guys up here. Yeah, we're definitely getting some more lag. So I might have to turn something on here. Did you ever try the i7-5775C? I've not. I don't even know what that is. Maybe I need to try FSR because it's not letting me do much here. Summer in general can't go out that much. It's too hot. You have asthma. Last week was like 100 degrees and humidity is crazy. You barely use your main machine. Dude, that's a big problem for me. For $115 PC, that performs very well. It does perform extremely well. We have to run some more shaders now because we went through that. I think the holiday season is going to be crazy bad for PC pricing. We're already well past the point of new gamers entering the PC world. Folks are not upgrading like in the past. No, they can't afford it. Do I only build them for giveaway or can I buy one? I am going to start selling on a website at some point. Oh, did I not change that? Oh my gosh, I didn't. Ha ha ha, I'm gonna lose my mind. Is it gonna let me set it? Okay, cool. That was really laggy, so I'm gonna go back to the FSR. It's possible that this 2060 doesn't like DLSS. But yes, I am potentially gonna pair this with a, actually maybe this 2060. I'm gonna pair a Ryzen 5 5500 and this. Everything else will be the same. The case, it'll be a different power supply. Actually, almost none of it will be. It'll just be the same motherboard and same motherboard, different NVMe. I don't know what I'm going to sell it for, but it'll probably be with this 2060, and I'll probably have it listed for sale. That ran really smooth, actually. Oh, you're up there. That was a little laggy. Oh, I'm bad. Bad at video games. There's something else shooting at me as well. Okay. Something else shooting at me? Yes, it is. Not bad. Because I know that there is also, there is a concern when you're buying like used. You know, if you're getting something that's useful or broken and been mined on. So like I have considered potentially like just selling some of the stuff I use on here because all I do is essentially recycle. I try stuff out, I trade it out, get new equipment, that kind of stuff. And like I'm not looking to sell them to make a profit because I know that like that's some of the space that PC builders are in, but I don't want to do a warranty. I don't want like, I'm not trying to sell them in mass quantity, so I don't really want to do that. I just want to get rid of them so I can buy new stuff. That's all. Like right now, I really want to get the RTX 5050 and the RX 9050 to compare the two and see like if they're both as bad as people make them out to be, or if they're not that bad, which one might be better. There's been a little bit of lag in here, by the way. It's not that bad, but there's definitely some. Oh, what are you? I'm really bad at this. How do I heal? I don't remember how to heal. Is it T? Ow, please. Can I heal again? No, I cannot. Oh, you're not dead? Wow, these things are strong. Oh, I'm out of ammo too. Yeah, there's definitely been some lag. I guess just because this is like a really populated area. Like there's a lot of things happening. Oh my gosh, what just hit me? But it's not been that bad for what this is. Like at the 2600, this is both a CPU and GPU heavy game, and like it runs pretty bad on a lot of stuff. So the fact that it's keeping up like at this rate is not bad. Also, you guys are probably about to get to hear my 2-year-old, so be prepared for that. Don't shoot me! Where'd he go? Okay. It took us forever to load into this game. I don't want to like get out of it too quickly. But I feel like that was probably enough for us to see how well it runs. So let's go ahead and call it there. I feel like it did run at a higher FPS, but there were times where it definitely ran a little worse. I probably could have tuned down some of the graphics even lower and had a better performance, but I don't know if that was the difference between AMD and NVIDIA. Let me answer some of these questions you guys have asked. Z97 is Intel's first attempt making CPU V-cache. Get that again, and i7-49 again he had before, okay. Nova Lake and Zen C is going to have lackluster sales if you don't have CUDM or DDR5 in general, and gaming GPU sales down 31% last week. Oh my gosh, that's wild. Yeah, I think DDR5 is going to be a big sticking point. Did they say Zen 6 is going to be DDR6 or DDR5? I don't remember. Do I do giveaways? I do. If you're in the United States and you're subscribed to my newsletter, you can possibly win a gaming PC. But you have to be in the United States. You also do have to be over the age of 18. So I have that linked in the description. It is DDR5. Okay. So let's go ahead and pick out a different game. We did Arc Raiders yesterday too. I know this game is pretty CPU reliant, so we might not see a lot of improvement, but let's try that out. We'll try out some Arc Raiders and see if that has any kind of weight on how it goes. Yeah, if you're asking about the giveaway here, I'll show you guys real quick. So if you go to my website here, or this is my newsletter website. That's my newsletter website. If you go to that, actually I can show you guys on stream here. So if you go to that, I'll show you real quick. While we're waiting on textures and things to load. So if you guys go to that, you have a couple different options. B. Sanford. So if you could go to that website, it'll bring you to this here. You can scroll down. If you type your email address in here and then hit subscribe/free PC giveaway, when you subscribe to this, what it will do is it will give you to my actual website. And on there's content that shows you what's coming out on the channel, things you can expect, that kind of stuff. I might be able to show you guys that here in a second. But this is a free version. You guys can also sign up for a $5 a month like paid version if you want to help support the channel. This all goes to me. These are the same rules that I have that you have to be a part of. I guess I should explain that more clearly as well. Like you have to be on there for 4 months, leave at least one comment on the newsletter, and then you can be entered in the drawing. You must be over. I clearly mistyped there. So either one of these you can enter in. You can do $5 or you can do it for free. The PC that I'm giving away in December this time is a 9600X, the Ryzen 5 9600X, and a 3060 Ti. And then if you just want to help support the channel in general, you can go down here to the Help Me Get New Tech review/giveaway. You can give $1, you can give $50, you can give $1,000. You can give $1,000 and then message me, say please get a 5080, or something like build a PC with $1,000, or like I've wanted to do like a PC build battle with one of my friends that comes into the stream sometimes. He's also local to me. Like I wanted to set like a, hey, we both have $500. Who can build a better PC out of that? Like, so if you ever like want to give to the channel, you're more than welcome to. But if you want to subscribe, like those are the options for the newsletter. It's free. You do have to be on there for 4 months and then leave a comment on the newsletter. So yeah, those are the options for the giveaway. You wouldn't even bother with Gen 5 NVMEs. They run super hot and become incredibly expensive. They're outrageous. I can't afford one. I have a Gen 4. I have a Gen 4, and I don't see a purpose in going with Gen 5. So we're gonna go ahead and go over to Arc Raiders, try and run this. It ran pretty well yesterday. We did have a little bit of like hard lag and stutters a few times, but it wasn't like the worst. It was a bearable experience. So we'll go ahead and jump in here, do some gaming on Arc Raiders. I need to get some new games too. Also, so like at some point, if you guys have suggestions, I can't get a ton at one time because they're obviously very expensive. But if you do have suggestions, or like there's a game that you're like, I have to see this on there. Like if you guys give the money for a game, like you say like, hey, it has to be appropriate. I won't play things that have like nudity or too much gore in them. It has to be a game that I'm willing to play on stream, show to other people, play myself. But if you give money towards it, I will get it. So, if that's something that you want to see, or you're like, hey, I don't even know if this will run on this kind of computer, you can do that. Which obviously, if you're thinking about a budget, you probably can't afford that, but just throwing it out there. All right, what settings are we on here? Settings, graphics, full screen 1080p, no frame gen on. DLSS. Epic. We do not want epic on. We want nothing. So static. I don't remember what FPS we were getting yesterday. This is pretty good though. This is actually really smooth. Let's go here. This is looking really good. I know we like when we got into fights or like we had some flying things running around towards us, like we definitely slowed down and had some issues. So I'll be curious to see what we get while we're running on this, but feels pretty smooth right now. But to be fair, yesterday when we were playing on this, it was raining, and you know that kind of stuff does make a difference. I don't really want to fight this yet. I wanted to find a couple more if it was possible. Oh, there's a few here. You know what? I'm down. I'll shoot at this. How do I? Oh, there we go. Oh, you can go up there? Okay. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good experience here. Have I tried Delta Force? I have played Delta Force. I enjoyed the game, but it seemed really dead. Oh, that's not a thing. It seemed really dead. I had a hard time getting into a lobby. Wow. Okay, you guys, this is running really smooth. I think this is actually beating the 580. This is definitely beating the 580. Now, again, I was in a rainy map. You know, some of those things do make a difference. I don't know if I hit that or not. You know, those things do matter, but I'm feeling really, really good about this. I would play this. Like, if this was my personal setup, I would play on this. Yeah, I mean, we've gone through 2 of these so far. We've had a couple on the screen at the same time. I don't know if I hit that. That felt a little delayed, but I think that could have just been like the recoil of the gun. Yep, yeah, I'm good with this. Did I try the warfare mode? I don't remember which mode I tried. But this is super, super, super playable. This is a $40 game, and we're on a what did I say? $480 PC. This is a good experience. I would personally play this. I don't really play Arc Raiders. I've tried it a couple times, couldn't get into it, but like I would play this. Let's see if we have this giant thing fly over here. Isn't this a big one? Yeah, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep. That's it for me. Cool. All right, that's probably enough for Arc Raiders. That was a solid showing. Let's go ahead and move on. Chat, what GPU is being used? I hate asking questions that were already addressed. You're good. You're good. Thomas, I think I'm assuming it's probably Thomas. Thomas, so yesterday we built a $415 PC and we were using an RX 580 with it. Today we swapped out this RX 580 and now we have an RTX 2060. So we've got an RTX 2060, a Ryzen 5 2600, and 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. So let's go ahead and jump into another game really quick. I have some time. We could probably do another half hour or so. I think we did Black Myth yesterday. I know Cyberpunk is like something that people really like to see. Actually, I want to do Crimson Desert first because with the RX 580, we couldn't even get that to load. So we're going to launch Crimson Desert and see how that runs on this 2060. Yeah, also, if you guys do have like any other types of questions, PC related or anything like that, feel free to ask them, especially in this dead time, because it gets hard for me to just try and ramble on and find things to talk about while I'm waiting for shaders and those things to finish, because it's slow. It's very slow moving. It's very, very slow moving. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions if you guys have anything to and you know what's ironic is I'm asking you guys to ask questions. I'm the world's worst. I don't even sub to the channels I watch. I don't ever hit subscribe. I very rarely hit like. which is, you know, but I watch things and then it recommends it to me and I keep watching. Like I'm very loyal to the channels I watch. There's a skateboarder that I've watched for probably 3 years now, and I don't even think I'm subscribed to his channel, and I've probably liked like 3 of the videos, and I've watched probably like 500 of his videos. And I've commented maybe like 3 times. So like I get it. I'm what they would call a lurker. So I understand like some of you guys are probably in here like, I'm not going to talk to him. That produces anxiety, or I don't want to do that. Or like for me, I just don't do those things because I'm like, I'm going to keep watching your video anyway. So like I get it, I respect it, and I understand like if you don't do that stuff, you don't do that stuff. It's okay. So we're just going to wait on Crimson Desert to load up. We'll play that, and we might have time for Cyberpunk. And then I might call it. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to take a phone call at some point. We'll see, you know, how that's going. Okay then. Okay then. Yeah, that's so that's where I'm at. You know, if you guys have any other questions, I know, like I said, next week I'm planning on doing the PCIe 3 versus PCIe 4. I'm trying to think like of what other content I can make or do. And I don't know. Sometimes I just make it up on the day and like just figure it out at that time. But that's also partially why like I'm ready for new equipment, because I've gone through a lot of ideas with the stuff that I have, and I don't want to like keep hitting on it for people that like watch my stuff. They don't want to keep I assume they don't want to watch like a 3600 versus a Ryzen 5 5500. Like there are some differences. Oh man, great stream today. Thank you. Oh, I'm not ending. When is my next live stream? It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday. Fridays and the weekends are kind of tough for me. But yeah, so like, you know, people have probably seen enough of the Ryzen 5 5500 versus a 3600, or maybe they haven't. Maybe there's more people out there with questions, but like I try hard not to cover the same subject multiple times, because like if someone wants to watch my content for me, I don't want them feeling like he just keeps saying the same thing. He's just talking about the same thing. Like that can be really repetitive. I hope this hasn't crashed, by the way. It doesn't seem to be responding. I guess if you guys are just joining in, so what we're doing today, while I'm waiting on this, I don't even know if Crimson Desert is going to load. Oh wait, it might be loading now. So yesterday we built a PC that was about $415. It has a Ryzen 5 2600, 16 gigs of DDR4, and an RX 580. Today we swapped out the RX 580 here for a 2060, which is about $65 more. So we're just kind of testing how this compares to the RX 580. And so far we've seen that it does run better, but we're also seeing that in Borderlands 4 it was getting higher FPS. Excuse me, but it felt like it may have had some more like stuttering in there. So I don't know if that's like NVIDIA versus AMD, if we needed to potentially like lower some of the settings that I wasn't aware maybe got turned up. So who knows? AMD 3600 is still a nice budget place to be. It's worth repeating in my opinion. If you had to choose the parts for your dream PC, what would they be? So the 3600 is 1000% still solid. I think if you're building on a budget, it has its advantages and disadvantages, right? Like the 3600 is around the same price, maybe slightly. It might be even more expensive than the 5500. I can't remember. It's either slightly more or slightly less. I did a video comparing the two, so like it just comes down to your preference, honestly. Like whichever one you can find at a better price probably is better. And then like if you're gonna go with a better graphics card at some point and you have a motherboard that can support the PCIe 4, like the 3600 is probably better. And then like the L3 cache obviously makes a small difference. You know, but if I had to choose parts for my dream PC, I don't know that I have a dream PC. I'm not really like very picky. I have a really nice computer now. I mean, my 250 KF Plus and my 9070 XT are great. If I could pick, like if there was a feature that I could pick for a computer, is that it would run well enough, but I would choose to have something that didn't put out heat. Like if there was some kind of fan or case or something that dissipated the heat, that's my biggest complaint, is every computer just gets really hot. Whether the CPU or the GPU are getting hot or not, like your room, your environment are still getting hot because it has to place that heat and push it somewhere else. So like that's my biggest complaint. If I had a dream PC, it wouldn't get hot. Like the room wouldn't get hot. I wouldn't suffer from it because like my office will be like 80 degrees and it's miserable. So that I think that would probably be like my definition of a dream PC. 2060 is really fantastic GPU, especially if you get the EVGA KO. It's as fast as the 2080. Wow, really? I don't have X99 E5 1660 V3. So you're gonna have to, Realtek, you're gonna have to help me understand that because I think the X99 I'm familiar with. Are you saying like a 16, like you're saying like a combo, a PC combo? You'll have to break that down more into layman's terms because I mean I know a 1660 is a graphics card if that's what you're referring to, and the X99 like that's I think that's the motherboard and things that those CPUs were running on. So we're actually almost done with compiling the shaders, so we'll get into Crimson Desert pretty quickly, and you'll be able to see it run. And like, if you are wanting to play Crimson Desert, the RX 580 will not. I think Spider-Man 2 also will not, like Marvel Spider-Man 2. So like for $65 more, you can actually do it with a GTX 1660 Super too. But for like $65 more, now you're playing the game, which, you know, whether that's worth your time or not, that's up to you. Almost done with this, so we'll get on to Crimson Desert here in a second. Dream PC is the one I built 3 years ago, 5800 X3D, 7900 XTX. Dude, the 7900 XTX does not get enough love. You don't use it much. I spend my time on my 8-year-old PC most of the time unless I'm 4K gaming on a TV. I mean, that's the thing is like, a lot of us like think we want something that's like super high-end and we build all of that. Daniela, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming to the stream and chatting. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Like we think we want those things, but then like when it comes down to it, do you really need that? Like how often are you like I have a 4K gaming GPU and I don't ever game in 4K. I don't even play like Crimson Desert and stuff like that. Like I should. I want to play more Crimson Desert and Pragmata, and I can max out the settings, but I don't play it. So, oh, here we go. We're in. We'll hit play, wait for that. It's i7 5960EX. Can be, wow, it's a $30 CPU, used to be under $10. That's crazy. You don't have a PC? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a good build. I mean, like I said, the PC that I've got here, you could build yourself for about $415. And you guys are also you know, if you're looking to build a PC, go into PC Part Picker. That's a great place. Like if you're curious, or you know, if you're comfortable buying. That's the thing is like if you're gonna buy used, you need to watch content like this, other people's content, figure out what's best, and then also kind of just figure out like. I've been scammed before, buying stuff. So you have to be really careful to make sure that like you're buying something that's from a legitimate person, that you're not like getting something that's not gonna work when you get home. So like you do have to be a little more careful because you don't have a warranty. There's like no backing that you're getting something that's gonna be worthwhile. But if you take the time to research, do your best to like remove any like outliers or problems that could come up. Used is a great option, especially like if you have a budget of $700 and you go out and find used stuff for like $550, $600, give yourself some cushion that if something goes wrong, you can go and get an extra part that you need to, or like, you don't have to spend $700. Like if you have $700 and you're just trying to max it out, fine. But like you don't have to spend $700 to get the performance. So, oh, we're in the game. Let me stop yammering around here. So we're not going to get the highest FPS in this game, but I've said this in all of my videos that I play this game. 40 FPS is pretty good on this. You have a $1,500 budget. Dude, for $1,500, you're going to get something amazing. See you later. You have a 7900 XTX, also Sapphire Nitro. A lot of NVIDIA fanboys hate on it way too much. It's amazing. Have I overclocked the 4790K? No, I know I can. I just haven't done that. I don't know why. I'm not a big overclocker personally. All right, let's see what settings we have on here. Settings, graphics, cinematic. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this thing is even trying to process what cinematic is. Oh yeah, oh no, I didn't. The VRAM's down there. This is taking forever. Will it not? Oh, well, let me go that way. Okay. Low. We can go low. We can go low. Checking on eBay, 27 Super is still selling around $200. It's a good entry-level option for building on a budget. So I haven't run with the 27 Super personally, but I have to imagine it's pretty solid. Wow, this looks good. This looks pretty solid. Again, this is a $70 game, and we're playing, I mean, we're on low, but it's really smooth. It looks solid. I can't complain about this. 50 FPS. I'm sure when we get in a fight, it'll drop down. In fact, I don't know where to go for a fight. Oh, I need to go that way. Which way? This way. Okay, this way. But this is really solid, so I cannot complain about this. I was supposed to go somewhere over here. Who am I talking to, or what am I doing? Can I jump over that? No. Okay. $1,500 is a great budget, usually recommended eBay or Micro Center open box deals. Yeah, what am I doing? Notice board? I did not mean to go to that. Whoops. What am I reading? Turn off. Check the strange noises from the cave poster. Is this the cave poster? Horn thief. Missing cows, strange noises. How do I read this? Examine, control. Recently, I'm not going to read through all this. How do I control? How do I go through this? Did I do it? Check the missing cows poster. Okay. Once you get a chance, do you think you could check out this eBay? Yeah, possibly. You can tell us the specs, and I can tell you if it's good. I mean, how you would know is like, you know, how reputable that seller is. You kind of do need to be careful, though. Did I not examine it? Oh, there we go. Missing cows, knowledge acquired. Check out the horn thief. All right, this seems kind of silly to be wasting your guys' time trying to play this and just looking at this. But I'll do these really quickly. Missing woolly. That's the last one. Let me examine it really quick. All right, there we go. Ta-da, we learned. All right, let's get out of here. We'll go this way. Wait, can I go this way? Yeah, I can go this way. Now, this is obviously like throttling my GPU. I don't have the temp on there for some reason, but it's like ramped up at the moment. The 2060 is, and it's using some of it. I'm underutilizing from compared to what I thought I was going to. A ROG Strix GT15 Intel i5 10400F. Some of those things don't make sense. So it's coming with a 256 gigabyte SSD, a 1 terabyte hard drive, and a GTX 1660. I don't know what the 8 gigabyte thing stands for in the middle that you have there. I mean, if you were to buy that PC, it depends on how much they're charging for it. You're not going to get a lot of storage, and a hard drive is really slow. Oh, I ran past where I needed to go. A hard drive is extremely slow, so your SSD is not going to give you a lot. Your SATA SSD won't give you a lot before you start running out. Speak with the despairing man. Are you the despairing man? Who's the despairing man? Are you not the despairing man? Whoa. Oh, is this the guy I need to talk to? Yeah, that's probably like, depending on the price there, you're probably not getting the greatest deal here. So yeah, this is running Crimson Desert really well. I'm satisfied with this. I don't want to go through too much more because there's not a lot happening in this, and it's probably boring. Like, you guys might be in the live stream okay with it, but like someone else watching this is probably like, if they came for like just the video stuff, they're probably like, why am I watching this? This is a waste of time. So, you know what? I'm not even gonna watch this. Oh, it's gonna force me to watch it. Okay. Well, dang. I guess we're gonna watch this, and then we'll swap over to another game. We could try out Cyberpunk. I still think this looks pretty solid. Like, I'm impressed for a $480 PC. It's $300. You probably keep looking. If that PC is $300 and it works, I don't know. I don't know how much an i5 10400F is. But if that's $300 and it's actually working, I don't know. That's not a bad price. If it's a fully built PC, it has a case, it has the motherboard, it has a power supply. Like, that's kind of a hard price to beat. I mean, you could buy that and just part it out and put some other stuff, you know, with it. So this is where like it's kind of tough to answer some of those questions. But if that's $300, I mean, this is a valid PC right here, and this is $460. The PC before that was, you know, I mean, the 1660 is faster than an RX 580, and I'm assuming the Ryzen 5 2600 is probably about the same as the 10400F. It might be a little slower. You're just kind of short on storage there, but if it's only $300 and it's working, that might be better. Let's try to jump into Cyberpunk. Yeah, it just kind of depends. It's from eBay refurbished, free shipping. That's tough to say. Yeah, that's kind of hard to say because 1660 at least gets driver game ready support. Yeah, I mean it does, and at $300, if that's a real PC and you're not getting scammed and it comes with everything, I might buy it. But please don't take my advice. Like, do some research, because I don't want you to go out there and buy it and like you got scammed, or like you're not understanding it properly and it's not the full PC and you just get a couple parts and now you're out $300 and you have to figure out what else to add. Like, I would just try to do some research and due diligence before you purchase it. But if it's actually like you can't build a PC for $300. Like, this is a very cheap option, and we're already at like $480. $300 may have been realistic like a year ago, but now you can't even you can't build something that's going to turn on and run web browse. Like, you can barely run like web browsers these days for $300. So at least that's, you know, those are my thoughts and opinions, but I'm not some like genius know-it-all. I'm not even an expert. I'm just a guy on the internet. So like, I never try to like push people into something unless I know all the details, because 300 is pretty solid. All right, let's go ahead and jump over here. Oh, sorry guys. All right, Cyberpunk. Yeah. A decent Chromebook's not even $300. Like, what you have in front of you, what I'm playing now, is like about as good as it gets. You can't really get much cheaper than this. And be like usable. 2015 MacBook Pro. I mean, the thing is, like, a PC is a PC, and you know, there's a lot of like, you need a great PC that can run all these things. I'm guessing based on, you know, I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're a student or anything like that. Oh, we're on Ultra. No, let's go back down to, we could probably get away with medium here. I don't know if you're a student. Like, I don't know any information about you, but you probably, like don't have. Oh yeah, are we higher? I think we're higher. I think we did run on ultra for a brief period of time yesterday. Why don't we just go ahead and do that anyway? Oh wait, I can do ray tracing on this one. Oh, let's try to do some ray tracing. This is technically path tracing. There's no way this thing can run this. Oh no. Oh, if you guys have motion sickness, I might not look at this. Let me pull you down a little bit. If you have motion sickness, I don't know if I would watch the screen right now. Oh my gosh. But it is a 2060 and it's running path tracing. Oh, if you guys have motion sickness, I would look away. This is going to make you throw up. Oh yeah, this is not the stuff. Whew. It does look really good when it's not like losing its frame gen. I could turn frame gen on. Yeah, we could try it. I just wanted to see what it did. Frame gen. N64, no kidding. Let's just do quality here. Oh, do I have to restart the game on some of this? Okay, I have to quit. That's right, you have to quit if you're gonna do frame gen. You have to restart. N64 gaming. You know what? N64 gaming probably didn't look that good. You don't think frame gen's gonna save it? You might be right. You might be right. I think it's still gonna look, I think it's gonna perform smoother, but I don't think it's gonna look great. You know, I really don't know this, you guys, and I've kind of wondered, like, in case I need to reply to someone or something, like if I leave this stream, is it gonna continue to run or is it gonna crash? I gotta figure that out, so like if I need to reply to a text or something. I guess we're gonna find out here. What time is it? 2:34. Yeah, this will probably be the last one, and then I'm gonna head out, move on out. All right, load. Let's try it now. I mean, we were at what, like 18 FPS, 17 FPS, something like that. If we jump up to 50, 60 and it looks about the same, deal done for me. I'm not a huge fan of frame gen, but you know, in games like Cyberpunk, it really doesn't matter. You're not like, it's not like an FPS game where it's so fast paced that, you know, it matters that much. Ooh, it's still not great. Yeah, Thomas, you were right. You were right. It didn't save it. In fact, it might have made it worse. Oh no. This is path tracing though. This is path tracing on a 2060. Okay, let's drop it down some. Yeah, even my mouse is going slow. Say it's good you're streaming a lot because YouTube did change a lot of rules. Yeah, they're gonna screw a lot of people really hard. Let's just go to ray tracing low. I want to see ray tracing low. What? No way. I mean, this is frame gen, but that got rid of all of the motion blur. Above 100 FPS. That's insane. That is so wild. Look at the clarity on this. I still think like frame gen without ray tracing would be nice. Yes. Even so, this is frame gen with ray tracing at low, and this looks really good. I'm gonna go into, I don't usually play a lot of other area. Do I think I could play Delta Force on Ultra? I could try it. If I have Delta Force right now, I can try it for you after this really quick, but I can't remember if I have it installed. Do I have DLSS turned on? I do not. Motion, how are you? Yeah, I can't even imagine what time it is for you there. Okay, so we're in the city here. Ow. Yo. You guys like following me or something? We're in the city here. And we're still getting pretty solid FPS and it looks pretty good. I tend not to play this game a whole lot in areas that like I don't know or understand because it's got way too much inappropriate stuff in it. And I don't want that in my content, and I also don't really want that personally. But this was a good indicator, like you can handle it in here. So cool. I'll see if I have. You can play that and be happy. Yeah, I could play that. What are we talking about? Delta Force? I don't have enough space. I'd have to delete some stuff. I can't do it this time. I'll play it on a different setup at some point. I have played it, but I have actually. If you want to go back, White Feather. Let me show you here again. So the video was this one, this right here. I tested the RTX 2060 on today's most popular free games. Here, I'll put the link on for you. YouTube. I'll put the link on for you real quick. I tested the RTX 2060. And you can go watch there because I did actually test that game. Copy. I tested that game on that video right there. I tested Delta Force on that. I think I tested it on the 580 as well. Yeah, I did it on the 3060 Ti, so you can see here like Delta Force. I can't remember if I tested it on anything else. But there's a couple graphics cards that you could like look at and see, you know, how it ran. I think it ran pretty well. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and give some closing comments for the video itself, and then I'll address you guys, and we'll all get out of here. That way I can close up the stream and go do some stuff. Cool. So let me put this over here. Make sure I've got this set up. Are we good? Why is it so far behind on the stream? Dang, it's taking forever on your guys' end, or my end, it's taking forever. All right, everybody, so that was the stream, also video that we did where we took this $415 PC and we swapped out the RX 580 to go ahead and put in the RTX 2060, a $65 upgrade roughly. You know, in my personal opinion, it did feel like there was improvement in some areas. In some areas, it wasn't that noticeable. So I guess in this, you know, case, it would depend on what kind of games you're playing, what the use case is for. Obviously, we could play Crimson Desert. If we tried Spider-Man 2 on the RX 580, it would also say we couldn't play it on there either. So I think it's kind of your opinion and what's valuable to you, but it definitely did improve some of the games, and we did see some improvement. Borderlands 4 felt like perhaps there were some NVIDIA problems, but overall good experience. I enjoyed it. You know, I could definitely recommend the 2060, especially in a budget build like this. The 6 gigs of VRAM also never became an issue. Like perhaps that was something that maybe we're running into in Borderlands that I didn't pay attention to or see, and maybe you guys watching the video saw that. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please consider liking the video, subscribe, check out the newsletter for the giveaway PC or to support, all that kind of stuff. So thank you. Cool. Well, you guys, hey Piglet, how are you? Perfect timing too, because I've got everybody running around here and it'll be loud soon. So you guys, I do appreciate your time. I'm, you know, addressing all of you guys here in the stream. Does the PC run Linux? It can. I don't have it on Linux, but I appreciate all of you guys coming in, hanging out, chatting. You know, like I said, I'm going to try to stream a couple times a week, and then I'll put them on videos, like basically just take what was on the stream, put it in video. So if you don't get a chance to watch the stream, you can watch the video. Again, I apologize for all the dead air on there, but I can't really get rid of that because it's a stream and it's just the way it naturally is. So all of you guys in the chat though, again, I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Like I said, it'll probably be Monday or Tuesday. I'll be back around 1 or 2, sometimes 12:30. Just kind of depends on the day, the needs, but it'll be anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours, sometimes a little longer. So I'll catch you guys in the next stream. And again, thank you guys for showing up.